Hello. So welcome to the third section of our Goal Achieving Masterclass. So this is actually a very brief session. So we're basically going to discuss a system, like basically how you are going to implement those plans that you've had. The most important thing will be the routines, and then your communities, your directors, and accountability partners, and other things for regarding accountability. So the first part, your system is about the how part of goal achieving. Routines, basically like three things. First, routine, I'll discuss it more in the next slide. Secondly, habits. Habits are basically things you actually do consistently and repeatedly. You need to build better habits. The perfect book I can recommend for this is The Atomic Habits. Perfect book for this, because habits are a huge thing. Anything that we say in this presentation is not really going to cover it unless I go in depth, and I wouldn't want to go that far. Then the power of 3 hour chunks. This will be the next slide. So basically, I believe you're familiar with type of like deep work. So basically, like for when you go focus mode on one particular task, or even maybe like two or three particular tasks. So personally, like three times work best for me. So between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 hours of deep work. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., 3 hours of deep work, and 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., 3 hours of deep work. I don't do all three every day. I rarely even do all three. Mostly it's like two. That's why like if you can get 2 sessions a day, that's 6 hours. If you actually get 6 hours a day where you work with no phone distractions, no people, just one task or maybe one particular project, and have so many tasks in it, 6 hours a day, or even you could decide to dedicate, okay, the first 3 hour session I have in a day, I'll do this project. The other 3 hour session I have, I'll do another project. If you play for the other six remaining hours of your day, a year from now on, you will actually be way ahead of people who worked more hours than you did, but simply worked in this environments where there are distractions. So they were pressing phones, overhearing discussions, and then working part time. Find your best hours. If you can't work for 3 hours straight, you can have breaks. So maybe 1 hour, 10 minutes breaks, another hour, 10 minutes break. But or you can even do 45 minutes. Just depending, but they should be those chunks that I decide to work for. Go deep focus. There's a book, I will share the link with you. Hyper focus. Okay, I'll share the name, I get it online, I believe. Hyper focus. It shares how you can actually go into deep focus mode to work. So when I come back to the idea of routines, so just think about it, like what will an ideal day in your life be like? So for someone who wants to achieve all these goals as the goals that you've listed, what time should they wake up? What time okay, when should they go to sleep? How many hours should they dedicate to each activity? So maybe eating, sleeping, working, reading, and what habits should they develop? Because when you look at your goals, you realize, okay, the person who's going to achieve these goals has to behave in a certain way. So how that person should behave in every day should be how you actually behave as well. Because a day is like a unit of life. So if you can be able to plan every unit of your life properly, it will turn out like an amazing lifetime across. Still on the idea of routine. So basically, get a sheet of paper, write down everything you intend to do daily and the duration. So maybe I intend to read a book for 2 hours, exercise for 30 minutes. Basically, all those things that you intend to do every day and for how long you want to do them. Then calculate your available time. So okay, I will sleep for 6 hours, for example. I will eat, I will pray, I will flex and just gist for like 2 hours. List those things and then take them out of your 24 hours. How many hours do you have remaining? Maybe let's say you have like 10 more hours like free time. So that's why not dedicate them to maybe working, learning, all of those things. So allocate the daily tasks according to your available time. So if let's say you're available at 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like for me, I wake up I think around 5 a.m. sometimes 4:30 or mostly 5. For the first hour is mostly for religious things, and like by 6 a.m. I'm like, okay, I'm free. 6, 7, 8, 3 hours of whatever I want to do. 9 a.m. I have to go and do my breakfast and get ready to go to work and all of that. So I know that those 3 hours are free for me to decide, should I use them to learn? Should I use them to work on a project I am interested in? Whatever I choose to do. So when you have the final version, copy it into your new book. So there in your book that you've written who you are, your why, your life pillars. You also now write your daily routine. So on the right side, you can see just like an example of it. You should end up with something like this: 5 to 6 a.m. maybe prayers, 6 to 6:30 meditation or sunshine. I actually used to do this sometimes. I just go out, see this because sometimes I kind of get sleepy. So like go out into the nature, stuff like that. It makes me feel a bit more awake. Sometimes exercises. It just depends, to be honest, on what I feel like doing. But you can, some people are better with staying strict routines. So like every time, every day, this particular time is exactly what I'm doing. And some people like to just wing it. Okay, I'm awake. I don't feel like reading today. Okay, let me walk. Okay, I don't feel like working today. Okay, then let me just maybe go out. Just what works for you. Now, the second part is communities. Communities are very, very, very important. So, on the left side, you can see your communities, Brains and Hammers. Whatever you want to do, you need a community for it. You can't do it alone. If you do it alone, you like to be like really, really terrible. So, on the right side, you can see the communities are one of the best kept secrets of achieving goals. If you like to be fit, then you should join a gym, basically space, and then make friends with people who go there. That's people, because communities are basically spaces and people. The space will inspire you to act, and the people will keep you committed. If you now have gym friends who you hang out with, you'll find yourself doing the gym calls, learning and doing. So now imagine if I will start gymming and none of my friends actually gyms. So when I wake up in the morning, my WhatsApp stories are basically people eating, hanging out at night and stuff like that. Not only is time to actually gym. But imagine I now go to the gym and start making friends with people, maybe the gym instructor, maybe two or three other people who actually go to gym regularly. I'm friends with them, they have my number, I have their numbers. And I wake up in the morning and I go to my story, maybe like 7 a.m. in the morning. And then I see the gym instructor already at the gym, showing the video. Everyone is there. My friends are already there. My two gym friends also are posting about his morning routine and all of that. Now, that's something that always remind me, like, actually go and do it. And even if I don't show up, they will just call me like, Kwanabi, we have not been seeing you. And you could even make it a challenge and be like, okay, anytime I don't show up, I owe you 1K. And if it's a guy, definitely you will show up because he will always remind you about it. So remember your life pillars. Now, for each life pillar, you will need a community for it. So, for religious purposes, I think I mentioned that for the how to fill a worksheet, find maybe a religious scholar and also a friend. If it's business, find a business circle, people who are also entrepreneurs, go to their conference and all of that. So, on the left side, I discussed spaces. So, how do you actually find these communities? Where do they hang out? So first off, you can join their courses. So whenever there's this coach that's coaching, let's say you are into calligraphy, there's a coach for calligraphy. When you join his course, you're going to meet a lot of calligraphers, and you get to meet his community and him as well. Because if you're a serious student, you get to have this special relationship with him or her, and then they encourage you to like stay active. The second part is to attend conference and network. If let's say you like poetry, for example, there are a lot of poetry events going on. Attend, meet other poetry people and all of that. That's how you get to be committed to that community and that goal that's related to that particular community. Or volunteer at events. They're having an event, text the people organizing, tell them, okay, I can design flyers for you guys. Let me manage your social media just to connect with you guys. Or join the associations. You can also get related accessory to keep in your room. This is something that actually works for me. So, which example? I actually do it a lot. I have a lot of accessories. So, for example, let's say it's for religious use. For example, you could actually just get a wallpaper that has maybe a quote, an Islamic quote on it, or hadith. Put it on your wall. Or if it's for business, for example, you could have, let's say, a business book on your table. Whenever you sit up, it's always there. Just find something. Whenever you look at it in your room, it reminds you of that particular pillar you're focusing on. For health, for example, I have a water bottle on my desk every day. I try to drink a lot of water. That's one of the things I do for my health pillar. Just find something that whenever you look out your room, it's always there to remind you of that particular pillar. So on the right side, you have people. So find friends who are already doing it. Follow niche influencers. So this is basically just follow someone on social media who's always talking about that thing. Whenever he posts that thing, it's that thing. Let's say it's maybe you're interested in yoga, for example. Follow a yoga instructor. Every morning when you wake up, you go to Instagram. They are there showing you different yoga things you can try out. Find a mentor in that field. So basically, you always need a mentor. Because the thing about mentors is they force you, not like they use their hand to force you, but you will not want to disappoint them. And the fact that they value you and give you their time, you would want to always impress them. So they actually keep you accountable. So directors. So Andres, I was describing it about how if you go to a new city, having maps is not enough to get you around. You need a tour guide. Even if you know where all those places are, you need someone who actually, take you there. It's much better, more effective.